to all the participants. The opening program will begin in 5 minutes. To all the viewer, please provide your full attention during this program to ensure that everything run as smooth as possible. We highly recommend that you insert any question that may arise during the program as they may be answered during the Q&A session at the end of each session. All the cooperation is very much appreciated. Thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Greeting to all the moderators and panel, as well as to the participants who are watching through our live stream on HEP UITM Cawangan Terengganu YouTube channel. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are delighted to welcome you to the second International Student Representative Conference, Empowering Young Leadership. I'm Iman Haikal, your MC today. We would like to welcome all of you, representative and participant of the second International Student Representative Conference. Ladies and gentlemen, the second International Student Representative Conference, Empowering Young Leadership is online program organized by the Student Representative Council of University Technology Mara, Terengganu branch via live stream on this YouTube channel. This leadership program involves students from 8 different countries and will be held for a total of 2 days from November 10 until November 11, 2023. So here we finally are today as we welcome you to our second day of Second International Student Representative Conference. I believe this will have a massive impact and broaden our overall knowledge. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to invite all the participants to rise and sing the Malaysian National Anthem, Negaraku, and the UITM Anthem, Wawasan Setia Warga UITM. To our fellow Muslim participant, we will now have a prayer reciter to bless our program this morning.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafi anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. We express our gratitude to you for allowing us to attend assembly on this virtual program named Second International Student Representative Conference Empowering Young Leadership. Allah, we ask you for the safety of our religion and the welfare of our body. Oh Allah, Lord of the implementing authority, make the days that we've gone through, starting with your mercy, continue with your blessing, and end it with the forgiveness, and also make this program that we've gone through with guidance, and end with the victory of excellence. O Allah, O infinitely compassionate one, O infinitely loving one, let our effort as a means to enlighten and convince ourselves that the personal safety of either outer or inner is a prerequisite for achieving happiness and excellence in various fields. O Allah, grant us faith and strength in order to face the challenges of life during the transition period and in the face of life in this new era. O Lord of Majesty and Bounty, possessor of might and glory, O Allah, show us guidance and adjust our path and ways to achieve happiness and glory. Let us listen to people who like the good things. Let us avoid doing the bad and evil things. O Allah, blesses our life in this program and participant from this program and prevent us from harm and unfortunate events. Allahumma ighfir lana dhunubana wa la ikhwanina alladhina sabaquna bil iman wa la ta'jal fi qulubina ghillan lil ladina amanu rabbana innaka ra'ufur rahim. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azaban nar. Wassallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin.
Now, let's proceed with a welcoming video about this program. For your information, it is about motivating institution leaders to do a better job with their responsibilities. Also, this program can assist leader in improving their leadership qualities in the future.
Welcome to the second International Student Representative Conference, Empowering Young Leadership.
Today, we embark on a transformative journey
Where leadership takes center stage.
In the coming days, we'll explore diverse perspectives
on critical skill and share insight
that will shape the leaders within us.
Together, we will inspire the change.
foster innovation, elevate synergy.
Strengthens our commitment to making a positive impact.
Embrace this unique opportunity to connect, learn, and lead.
We encourage you to engage actively, learn from one another.
And live here with renewed passion and purpose.
So, let's dive into the dynamic world of leadership.
As we begin this exciting forum,
Welcome
to the
second International Student Representative
Conference.
Empowering
Young Leadership.
Without wasting our time, the Deputy Vice Chancellor will be delivering the welcome speech. Ladies and gentlemen, please warm welcome to Professor Dr. Haji Muhammad Sazili Shahibi, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Student Affairs of University Technology Mara, UiTM, Malaysia.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and greetings to everyone. Alhamdulillah, we are grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for His blessing, allowing us to come together today in the second International Students Representative Conference, Empowering Young Leadership, ISRC 2023. First and foremost, I wish to express my congratulations and admiration for the leaderships of the Students Representative Council, UiTM Terengganu branch, for their adept organization of the forthcoming programs. Entitled International Students Representative Conference Empowering Young Leaderships, ISRC 2023, this event is scheduled to spend 2 days, representing a collaborative effort by the Student Representative Council of UiTM Terengganu branch, which involves the participation of several esteemed international universities from diverse countries. I wish to extend a cordial welcome to the distinguished panelists and attendees for various nations. Young present is a tangible affirmations of the commitments and enthusiasms for enhancing the capabilities of young leaders within the international students communities. The theme chosen for ISRC 2023 is Empowering Young Leaderships, underscores the pivotal role played by emerging leaders in shaping a more promising and luminous future. The primary objective of the second ISRC 2023 program is to direct its focus toward augmenting the efficiencies and effectiveness of leaders while offering inspiration for those within educational institutions to reach new heights of excellence. Furthermore, this program is an invaluable platform for exchanging ideas and experiences among leaders representing diverse educational institutions. Such interaction will foster the development of a robust professional network, facilitating collaboration and knowledge sharing within the educational community. I'm confident that this program will not only aid leaders in enhancing their skill but also contribute significantly to polishing the quality of student leadership in the contemporary era of globalization. I'm delighted to announce that University of Technology Mara UiTM has achieved two remarkable milestones in the Malaysia Book of Records. Firstly, for awarding the highest number of scrolls during a convocation ceremony, and secondly, for presenting the highest numbers of scrolls by the Vice Chancellors. The Malaysia Book of Records officially recognized both distinctions with 31,222 graduates receiving their scroll during the 95 UiTM convocation ceremony held from November 26, 2022 to December 21, 2022. Notably, over 16,000 of these graduates received their degrees and diploma scrolls directly from the Vice Chancellor of UiTM. Moreover, University of Technology Mara has engraved its name in the Annals of Malaysia Book of Records, MBR, with the inaugural Kita Campus dan Alam Premier Community Service Program, which was conducted simultaneously at all 34 university campuses nationwide. Throughout this program, UiTM gathered the participation of 35,685 individuals, comprising students, staff, and public members, surpassing the initial target of 25,000 participants. This initiative indirectly fosters the development of leaders who can profoundly committed to environmental stewardships. In conclusion, leaders who genuinely love the environment serve as pivotal change agent, guiding society towards sustainability and well-being. They acknowledge the interconnectedness of human interests and the environment, and by setting an example, contribute to creating a better world for future generations. University of Technology Mara, a globally recognized institution, is graced with abundant talent and youthful potency. You are not merely a university that places paramount importance on academic excellence, but also a nurturing ground for instilling and strengthening leadership qualities among our students. I take immense pride in the contributions made by UiTM students, including those representing our international student community, which have enhanced our reputation in education worldwide. I express my heartfelt gratitude to the Students' Representative Council of UiTM Terengganu Branch and the Student Affairs Division of UiTM for their gracious efforts in organizing this program. I extend my wishes for success to all students from both public and private higher education institutions as they pursue their career aspirations. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I hereby officially launch the International Student Representative Council Conference 2.0 with the theme Empowering Young Leadership. Have a great conference, everyone. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you for the heartwarming speech from Yang Berbahagia Professor Dr. Haji Muhammad Sazili Shahibi, Deputy Vice Chancellor Student Affairs of University Technology Mara. UiTM Malaysia. We are now going to listen to the opening speech delivered by Yang Berbahagia Professor Teknologis Dr. Mazidah Puteh, Rector of University Teknologi Mara Terengganu Branch, Malaysia.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning. I am delighted to extend a warm welcome to all attendees of the event, the International Students Representative Conference 2.0, Empowering Young Leadership at ISRC 2023. I offer my greetings to the distinguished speakers and esteemed guests gathered here at UiTM Terengganu branch via online. Additionally, I wish to convey my deep and heartfelt appreciation to the dedicated committee members whose unwavering commitment has been instrumental in ensuring the success of this occasion. Initially, it is a well-established notion that leadership potential resides within every individual. I assert that leadership is attainable by anyone, contingent upon their willingness to either remain within their comfort zone or embark on a journey of self-improvement, thereby dispelling any notions of weakness. Consequently, individuals can assume a role in guiding those in their proximity. The essential prerequisite is to cultivate the belief in one's inherent potential. Ladies and gentlemen, today we convene to commemorate the emergence of youthful leaders, recognizing their innate capacity for leadership, their prospective role in effecting future change, and the boundless prospects that await each one of them. It is an honor for me to observe the devotion, resolve, and zeal exhibited by everyone here as they embrace the responsibilities of leadership. Whether one assumes positions within student government bodies, clubs, or various associations, or simply sets a precedent through exemplary conduct in their scholarly endeavors, they are already shaping the trajectory of their community's future. Leadership involves nurturing a sense of belonging, empowering others to realize their fullest potential, and collaborating harmoniously towards shared objectives. Leadership represents an expedition characterized by self-exploration, continual acquisition of knowledge, and unwavering commitment to ethical principles. Ladies and gentlemen, throughout your tenure as student representatives, you will inevitably encounter a series of trials and hurdles. You will be summoned to render difficult judgments, navigate intricate scenarios, and manage conflicting demands. Nevertheless, I possess full confidence that your tenacity, ingenuity, and the unwavering backing of your peers and mentors will guide you through even the most arduous circumstances. In your capacity as student leaders, you stand poised to make an enduring impact on our institution and the broader global landscape. It is imperative to bear in mind that leadership extends beyond the immediate moment. It encompasses the construction of a legacy for posterity. As you assume these responsibilities, I implore you to envision imposing aspirations, employ imaginative thinking, and execute your duties with an ethos of empathy. In conclusion, I wish to affirm my confidence in each member of this esteemed assembly. I have personally observed the extraordinary potential inherent in this gathering of young leaders and I firmly believe that collectively you will serve as catalyst for constructive transformation, catalyst for innovation, and architects of a legacy within our academic institution. And for that, I hereby declare the International Students Representative Conference 2.0 Empowering Young Leadership ISRC 2023 is officially open. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round applause to Yang Berbahagia Profesor Teknologis Dr. Mazidah Puteh, Rector of University Teknologi Mara Terengganu Branch, Malaysia. Without further ado, I would like to invite President of UiTM Global Ambassador Kennedy Chat as our moderator to start our first slot with the topic Bringing Connection for Future Togetherness. Along with Kennedy, there are 3 invited panelists from abroad comprising Russia, Japan, and Malaysia. Allow me to introduce these 3 panelists. The first one is Aya Kambalika from Kurt State Medical University, Russia. Next is Momomi Umizawa from Ganma University, Japan. The other one is Firdaus Zuraidi from University Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Ladies and gentlemen, before that, we would like to have a photography session with the speaker. All of you are required to turn on your camera for this photo session. One, two, three, smile. Again. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay. Thank you everyone for your cooperation. The floor is your candidates to start our first slot with the topic Bringing Connection for Future Togetherness.
Thank you, the Master of Ceremony, for that welcome. So we would like to start our third session. So a very good morning. Salam UiTM di hatiku. Salam Malaysia Malay. Greetings, everyone. Hi, once again, as introduced, I am Kennedy Chat, currently in my final year pursuing chemistry at University Teknologi Mara campus, inshallah. And I'll be a moderator for our third session for today, Bridging Connections for Future Togetherness. First of all, I would like to welcome everyone, especially all of our very, very esteemed panelists and audience who are joining this wonderful program through HGP UiTM Cawangan Terengganu live on YouTube. Our program today was organized by the UiTM Representative Council, UiTM Terengganu Branch. Dear panelists and audience, today we set out to explore a crucial idea that leads academic institutions all throughout the world to success and vitality. In this discussion, we set out to investigate a key idea of educational establishment all across the globe. Developing a strong leadership community is essential to determine how our university will develop in the future. Leadership, in all of its manifestation, is a driving force behind advancement in higher education. To get us through this enlightening journey, we have assembled esteemed panelists to assist us in navigating these sessions. Introducing our first panel, from Kurt State Medical University, Anya Kambalikau. She's currently a second-year Bachelor of Medicine, Bachelor of Surgery student. She's one of the members of Kurt's Malaysian Medical Students Association, KMSA, Cultural and International Relations Bureau, and also founder of mental organization Local Sabahan NGO, UMATA. She was a Student Representative Council Vice President during high school from 2018 to 2019. I'd like to ask the panelists, And Kimberly, how are you? Are you okay?
Thank you so much, Kennedy. I am doing well. It is currently 3:39 a.m. in Russia for me. It's very early in the morning, so you can imagine how it feels. But I'm really excited to share with everyone what I have to say today, and I'm extremely thankful to your organizing party for having me on today's session. Thank you so much.
That's very nice to hear. It's very early in the morning, so I would say a very good morning to you, okay? Once again. So let's move on to our second panel from Gunma University, Japan, Momomi Umezawa. She's currently a third year material and environment degree student. Momomi, how are you? Are you doing okay?
Thank you. And I am a little nervous now because this is the first time for me to discussing with other countries' people, but I want to try my best. Nice to meet you today.
Thank you. I think it will be a very lovely experience for you. Everybody has their first times. So moving on to our next panel, we have from UNIKL, Firdaus Zuraidin-Belt. Currently studying Bachelor of Industrial Logistics, he held the positions of President of Iskandar Malaysia Sustainability Network. He's also Deputy President of Student Representative Committee and Project Director of I Am Fit and Lestari. Firdaus, how are you today?
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good day. Thank you for inviting me, Kennedy, and all of the organizer party. I'm very excited to be here and very honored to be invited as a panelist for today. So I'm looking forward for our deeper discussions in these sessions. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think I can say for every panelist for today that we are honored to be invited to this conference. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, before we continue with our scheduled agenda this morning, please take a moment to subscribe to our YouTube channel, HGP UITM Terengganu branch. Leave a like, share, and positive comments. Share and put your positive comments below. So thank you for your unwavering support. So without further ado, let me start with our question for today. So in organizing activities, I believe that we have to collaborate somehow with a lot of other external club or external affairs that we have to go through. So working with these people gives you more experience in terms of leadership and how we work together with different departments and different people from different clubs. So I would like to ask first to our first panel, and Kimberly Kao, on your opinion, how does collaboration lead to the development of trust, and why is trust considered a fundamental element in cooperation? And then we can go around the table to our other panelists. So, Anya Kimberly Kao, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much once again, Kennedy. I think this question is very interesting. I would like to make my answer a little bit more fun. I would like for everyone to imagine collaboration as a form of relationship that you have with others. So, as everyone says, in a relationship, you have to have trust with the other person. And it goes the same way in collaborating with your work partners, with colleagues in school, and also your romantic partners. So for me, collaboration is very important because it fosters open communication, it fosters teamwork, and when we see people who are involved in the party of collaborations, and we see them contribute their efforts, it builds trust among each other. And with trust, we get to rely on the other person in our collaboration, and we can also share freely our efforts without holding back. For me, any collaboration is a two-way street. What you give, you get back. It sounds very cliche, but it is true. So when you are working with other people, whatever you give out to them, by right, they should also be able to give back, because that is how a collaboration works. It is a two-way street. Nobody is carrying the whole thing alone. So trust is essential in cooperation because it basically enables everyone to be able to interdepend on each other and also feel secure in their joint efforts. So, for example, I'll give you an example in my field because I am currently studying medicine. Let's say in a patient's case history, right? When a patient comes forward with a serious illness, it is the doctor's jobs and also the nurse's jobs and people around them to figure out and discuss together what is the best way to give the patient the best treatment. And this requires collaboration. It means it is not only the physician's job alone, it is not only the nurse's jobs alone, but it is everyone's teamwork by giving the patient the best care, the correct treatment, and making the correct decisions. So to conclude my answer, collaboration and trust is important because these are the fundamental elements in actually building up that relationship we have with other people in our work. Thank you.
Thank you, Anya. I think to conclude that, just imagine a collaboration as a relationship. As much as you want to commit, that's how you get, the result. So thank you, Anya. Let's move on to our second panel. So let's hear it from Momomi.
I think trust is difficult to define. We cannot see trust directly and cannot be measured in quantity. Japanese have two words to the word of trust, shinrai and shinyo. There are different meanings, and shinyo is measured by tangible things we can see, such as performance and results, while trust is something that is created through spending time together. I think in collaboration, shinrai is more important. I believe that trust is gained through the process of working together in a collaborative process. When working with others, problem may arise or someone may mistake. In such cases, instead of blaming the team member, it is important to be willing to forgive others when they make mistake and take responsibility when other people make mistake. This builds trust among team members and allows everyone to feel comfortable. Communicating with others even if something wrong. Also, cooperation is not possible without mutual help. However, just it is difficult to ask for help for someone you have met just for the first time, I think that it is only when there is a trust that we can ask for help. Therefore, I think that trust is an important element in cooperation. And cooperation also involves sharing information, and information can only be shared with those whom we can trust. So I think trust is essential in cooperation. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Momomi. I think what we can highlight from this one is trust is trust is when we spend time together a lot and we can forgive mistakes from our colleagues and our committee members. So this is just a sweet spot for you to take. And moving on to our next panel, let's hear it from Firdaus Raidi.
Right. Hi. I think this first question is a very brilliant question to kick off these sessions because we need to understand the fundamental and the root why we need to collaborate with others. So before you collaborate with others, there are two key components that you should ask yourself. The first one is why you need to collaborate with others. And the second one is how you're going to collaborate with others. So I'm saying this, that if you understand and learn these two components completely, it will be automatically you gain the trust from others. So that's it. But the question is still there, why and how you need to collaborate with others. So I would like to describe more these questions with referring to the book that I've read about, written by Sean Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teenagers. So in the book, they're highlighting about 7 habits that teenagers should have. And 3 of them is talking about connections and collaborations. So they're highlighting about win-win, about you need to understand others first and then seek for understood, and then synergize. So you need to understand why you need to collaborate with others and how you're going to collaborate with others. So I would like to say that you should know the concept of win-win. So it's important to have a beneficial for both parties. So we can gain the trust because if you understand others first, what is their vision, what is their missions of doing these particular things, and then you revealing that your intentions, then you will gain a complete an agreement of collaborations. So I would like to say that you need to understand the fundamental. So you need to ask yourself why and how. So by understanding those two key components, you automatically gain the trust from others. But it's not a denial that trust is gained from the process of your collaborations, and trust is about like Kimberly say just now. So that's how my opinion about the trust that you should have.
Thank you, Firdaus. I think it's imperative for us to know the reason and the method for us to undergo that collaboration. I think that's important. And I believe that each and every one of you has a favorite collaboration that you have in mind when we're talking about this one. So, but we're going to keep that if we have another time. But let's move on to the second question that I'm going to ask all of our panelists for today. So I believe that during our work, during our collaboration, we are working with a diverse group of people and working with people who are from the minorities. I think it's important for us to bring our voices together so that everyone feel represented. So I want to ask everyone, each and every one of you, from your personal experience maybe, what are the advantages of bringing together individuals with diverse backgrounds and viewpoints in collaborative efforts, particularly in addressing complex societal challenges? So let's start again with Anya on your opinion on this question.
Thank you once again, Kennedy. It was very interesting to hear every panel sharing about the previous question. Now, before I start my answer to the second question, I want to share a short Russian quote. It says, "Мы все один раса, человеческая," which means we are all one race. We are all human. There is no distinguishing each other, but it is undeniable that there are countless and numerous advantages that comes together when we bring individuals of diverse backgrounds and cultures in a collaboration. So, for example, firstly, when we include diverse backgrounds and cultures into making a collaboration, we actually include different ideas, different perspectives, because each nationality is different, or each race is different from others, because they all have something to bring on the table that no other nation or no other race has. And I think that's very important, because this actually fosters empathy and also mutual respect between those who are involved in the teamwork. And at the same time, it can also overcome potential biases. So what does this mean? It means that when we work together with diverse people, a diverse set of cultures and races, we actually get to overcome any potential biases or any potential as Malaysians would call it, berat sebelah to any parties. And I think this is a crucial part that we should have in a collaboration or in a teamwork, because sometimes there are prejudices or discriminations that occur without our realization. It happens subconsciously. And that is why including this diversity in making a decision is very important. So, for example, let's say when a nation comes up with a law, or a company comes up with a law, they want to set rules and regulations for their workers, they do not just include the higher ups, but they also include the policymakers. They also include their economy department. They also include scientists. And it is all these different ideas and different perspectives that actually build that company to become stronger, to achieve that one goal that benefits every single person. And it goes the same way for race. It doesn't matter if it's in terms of work, if it's in terms of just sports, but it is very useful to have, different kind of people and different backgrounds on board with us. So that is all I have to say and share about the second question.
Thank you, Anya, for that. What I can say about this is there's no distinguishing of each other, and we are equal at the eyes of everybody. So I think it's important for you to celebrate everyone so that we can overcome bias. So thank you, Anya, for that point. So let's move on to Momomi for your opinion on this matter.
I think one of its advantages is that it allows we to notice perspectives that we may not have been aware of. By gathering together people with a variety of different ideas, new ideas may emerge. I think it is less common for people with the same ideas to gather together. There are many people with different social backgrounds, even within the same country in Japan, and I was very surprised to learn this when I came to the university. We take ourselves for granted without realizing it. In fact, we spend more time not knowing that there are other ways of thinking. I think that by gathering together people with different social backgrounds, we can notice perspectives that we were not aware of before and also understand other people. Talking with people who have different perspectives also leads to the realization of new issues. For example, there are people in Japan who have experienced new earthquake and those who have not. I experienced a major earthquake in 2011, but I was surprised to hear that many areas that didn't experience earthquake. So I think by hearing such stories, I think it will help me to understand issues and challenges that I have never experienced. It is unavoidable that the problem I experience will be different because we live in different parts of the world. However, I think that by providing opportunities for people from all kinds of backgrounds to get together, it will help them to understand things that they have never understood. Thank you.
Thank you, Mumi, for your opinion. I think it's very imperative for us to develop the empathy personality in ourselves so that we can see through the suffering of other people, especially the minorities and people who feel underrepresented. So thank you, Momomi, for that point. So I would like to give the floor to Firdaus on your opinion.
Thank you very much. Okay, from my perception of view, the advantages of collaborations, I would say that if you collect more people's, you will gain more advantages or more benefits. So you can achieve more. So the words goes like this: the more you collect, the more you achieve, because whenever you collect from diverse perspective and expertise, you can integrate it into one program that's very impactful to others. Um, I'm not saying that, I'm not saying that one person cannot do other things. You can do things, but if you collaborate with others, integrate with the expertise, you can run the program smoothly. So just for examples, like this program, Kennedy yourself, you can be the MC, you can be the moderator, you can be all of the things. But if you segregate the task work, that you be the moderator, and just now Iman Haikal be the MC, so the program will be run smoothly because you integrate all of it. And you need to collaborate with others because you need to have different perceptions, so you can generate an ideas and innovations, because sometimes you think you are the best, but your shilling could be someone else's flaw. So you need to realize that. So whenever you collaborate with others, you integrate the expertise. So combining the expertise will combining people will have impactful program. So I conclude my answer with if you integrate with others, you will make yourself less burden and overwhelm yourself, and it will be more impactful program to the participants. So that's it for me.
Thank you, Firdaus. If I were to say it in a different phrase or wording, I would probably say Firdaus are basically saying that if you are the smartest in the room, then you're probably in the wrong room. You have to go to somewhere that you can learn, you can gain new experience. I think that's the beauty of learning. It's a long-lasting process and it's non-stop. So be sure to keep on learning so that you can use these new knowledges for the next event that you may handle, that you may manage. Okay. Let's move on to our third question. So I believe that we have collaborated with other people before. So I just want to know that in this collaboration, um, in what ways does teamwork and collaboration enhance the problem solving? And how does the collective ideation process contribute to creative solution? How do you go by the problems in a very creative way? Maybe you have some last minute tasks that you have to do. How do you go by it? So I would like to give the floor to Anya on your experience on these questions.
Okay, thank you so much once again, Kennedy. This question, I think it's very interesting because when we talk about teamwork and when we talk about collaboration, we often focus on the results of it, as in what comes out of the collaboration or the teamwork. But very few of us actually look deeper and put insight into the process of it. So, in my opinion, I believe that teamwork and collaboration can enhance problem solving because of the processes before the results. And this means, like we mentioned earlier on, when we involve different parties, we involve different people, everyone has something they want to share. Everyone has something they want to bring to the table. For example, in today's session, I have something different to say. Miss Momomi has something different to say, and Mr. Firdaus has something different to say. This is a clear example of how important it is that we work together to share whatever we have on our side to come to a better conclusion. And not only that, but it also gives everyone an empowered platform to speak out. And in turn can actually help promote teamwork and also understanding between the people who are involved in the collaboration. And the process of collective ideation actually produces creative solutions because we include collective accountability, which means everyone in that teamwork or everyone in that collaboration plays a role. Everyone holds that responsibility. It means when I give out something, this other person should give out something, and using these two things that we have given out, we weigh in between which one is the best outcome. It means, to keep it in simple words, it means the world is not run in black or white. It can be gray, it can be different shades of black, it can be different shades of white. There is a huge vast array of solutions to every problem that we can find, yet not a singular person can come up with everything. So it is important that we foster that teamwork and include everyone so we can actually enhance not only problem solving, but also to come up with creative, effective, and innovative solutions. An example I could give, for example, in today's world, it is important that we know how to market ourselves, right? For example, so let's say if we were to market our product, or if we were to market whatever it is we want to sell or we want to promote to other people, yes, we have editors, we have publishers, but that doesn't mean we can only have one idea and that is the best. We have to involve as many ideas as we can, or we can change this, we can improve that. These comments in the process of getting the results is what actually builds the teamwork into forming the best solution ever. And that is why I strongly want to highlight to everyone that as young people, we all hold a role in promoting this kind of creative solutions to be innovative. We are young, we have so many things we want to share. We come from many different backgrounds. Not a single person has been through what I lived, and I have not lived through whatever other people around me have been through. So I think there's a strength. It's not about the differences, but it's about how we can use these differences to actually come together to find the best solution. And I think that concludes my answer, and I would love to hear more from the other panels as well. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that was a very great point of saying that we have to somehow appreciate the process more than the result itself. I think for us student leaders, especially, we want to focus on the result all the time and we forget how we go around the problem, So maybe Momomi have different views on this, maybe you have different opinions on how we take on this question.
I think that bringing many people together allows to see issues from different perspectives and to discuss them more collaboratively. More people means more people with more ideas, and we can think about things objectively rather than subjectively. However, the important thing in expressing opinions in a group is to build trust before discussion, I think. In particular, Japanese people tend to be shy about expressing their opinions in a group. This is because they think if they do not have a relation of trust, they will be disliked if they say something. Therefore, even when discussing in a group, the relationship should be one in which people feel comfortable expressing their opinions to each other. So building trust is very important to have meaningful discussions in collaboration. Thank you.
I think we have to, that's what we just said, trust is important even before the process itself. I think in order to work with people, you have to trust them. You have to put not 100%, maybe 90% of your trust so that you can work things from that point. So moving on to Firdaus, get it.
Yeah, thank you once again, Kennedy. So I'm saying that collaborations is a key component of problem solving because you have a diverse perspective whenever you collaborate with others. So when individual from different backgrounds and areas of expertise come together to solve a problem, that will bring in diverse perspective and ideas. So by the impact of that, this diverse allows a deeper understanding, that first one, of problem and bring a wider range of potential solutions. So whenever you diverse or you collaborate with others, you can see from a different angles. So just like our sessions today, we can hear from Russia, from Japan, from Malaysia. So we are integrate that and put it into one program. So we diverse from diverse country. So that's the first one. So how collaborations enhance the problem solving? I think that we can share knowledge and skills. So collaborations enable the pooling of knowledge and skills within a team. So each team member may possess unique expertise. So they have their unique expertise and experience that can contribute to solving the problem. By combining these varied skills, the team can leverage collective intelligence and integrate more effective solutions. So whenever you conduct a program, you must have a project director, you must have your secretary, you must have exco activities, you must have MC, you must have moderator. So all of these expertise and skills been collaborate into conducting one program. So that's why you need to collaborate. Okay, I would like to give an example of my program that I've been conducted about I'm Fit and Lestari. So I'm Fit is about, IM stands for Iskandar Malaysia. Iskandar Malaysia is a region of economic corridor in Johor. So we're doing a program of sustainable and environment. So they have fun run activities. We have drive-through recycles. We have food fest and talk sessions. So I can't do that alone, and my team can't do that alone. So we integrate with outside companies, with school students, with the Majlis Pembandaran, which is PB team, because we want to have a big impact to the community. And I myself didn't have expertise to conduct a program alone. So that's why you need to asking for others' help. And there's a proverb from African proverbs goes like, a Belgian horses, one Belgian horses can pull about 8,000 pounds, one Belgian horses. But if two Belgian horses, they can pull 16,000 pounds or 18,000 pounds. But if we train them in the valley, put them in training, we can pull like 25,000 pounds. I'm saying that if we strengthen our collaborations, we can achieve more. There's more that we can achieve, because we're living in a universe, right? So there's a word about uni. Uni means one, right? So we need to collaborate. There's no duel or what. So you as individual, you should integrate with one. So we are sharing the same vision and missions. All of us are born to have a good potentials and a good intention to do something good. So we are sharing a same thing. Maybe Anya want to do something good in medical. I'm want to do something good in logistics, and Kennedy want to do something in his particular things. So we sharing a same vision that we want to have a good intention to do something good to others. So yes, we should integrate because we sharing a same visions. So that's for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you for those. For me, my take on that is that, on your opinion, would be, even though we have differences, even though we have this different perspective, I think that's the one which could generate more ideas. And I think it's important for us to understand that integration will make things a lot easier than it actually looks like. And we have to share our vision. Although we came from different expertise, we came from different courses, I think it's still imperative for us to work together to achieve that vision, which Firdaus has mentioned just now. So I would like to ask any of the panelists for today. I believe you are very, very well versed on the topic for today, which is bridging connections for future togetherness. So we have to go through the general part of the question and the theme for the topic that we have today. So I'd like to go a little bit more specific and in-depth with all the panel, because I would love to learn about their experience. So I would like to ask any of the panelists who wants to go first to share about their collaborative efforts with any external clubs or any external committee that they work that who usually are not your working partners. So if you have any experience on organizing an event with other collaborators, I would love for you guys to share on your experience and what are the key elements that you approach in order to make that program successful, or in essence, as Anya said, through the process, what things that you have, what role have you played in order to play your part in that event or program. So any of you guys want to start first? You can. Okay, Anya, let's hear it from you.
All right. An experience I would like to share is when I first founded my mental health organization back in my hometown in Sabah, Malaysia. It was difficult at first because as a young person who is starting up her own organization, a lot of people tend to underestimate young people. Like, for example, like Kennedy, like Momomi, like Firdaus. A lot of people tend to look down on younger people, on the younger generation, because there is this stigma that is shared among the older generation that young people can't lead, or young people are not ripe enough. We don't have the experiences. So this rocky beginning actually gave me the experience to grow from this struggle and to find out what is the best way to actually foster leadership, especially when it comes to working with other people, especially working with people who are older and they tend to look down on us. So what I want to share with everyone is, first and foremost, always foster inclusivity. Always. It means you do not look at people based on their age. You do not look at people based on their background, their race, their cultures. You have to always have an open mind, because you cannot limit yourself to what you're only used to. You cannot limit yourself to what you feel comfortable with. For example, in Russia, a lot of people deem Russian or Russian people as very aggressive or very reserved. But how I would see it is that is their way of living. Maybe it's not the same for us who were born and raised in Malaysia, but for them, who has been growing through different cultures and diverse backgrounds and experiences, it actually shapes them differently than who we are. So as a leader, besides inclusivity, that's the first point I want to highlight, is second, we have to have a strong vision. So it doesn't matter what position that you hold, if you're the leader, if you're maybe the vice president, if you're the secretary, treasurer, you have to have a vision of your own for your own role. And this vision has to align with the general company or the collaboration's roles and goals in the future. So you have to have a clear vision, and you have to be able to articulate and share this vision with your members. And the third and last one is you have to be there to also celebrate other people. I think in today's world where we live in a modern era where everyone is so competitive about everything, we have to be there and become the person who celebrates others. It means we appreciate other people's efforts. We appreciate those who are, chipping in their ideas and stuff. And it doesn't matter if it was a success or a fail, you appreciate them. And you also celebrate the success together as a team, because the success comes as a team, not as a unitary person. Like Firdaus said, uni, it's one. We are all one. So when we succeed as one. It is not individually one. It is not to each their own. That is what I want to share about my experiences. I'm curious to know about the other panels' experiences as well, and what they learned and what they want to share from it.
Thank you, Anya. I am curious too, because as I can see from these faces over here, I believe that you have gone through a lot and also experienced a lot in terms of leadership. And what I want to highlight from Anya, I would like to reinstate that you have to always have you have to foster inclusivity, which I think is important for especially the underrepresented. And also you have to have strong vision and to celebrate other people. So thank you, Anya, for those 3 points. We'll keep that on our notes. So let's move on to any other panels that wants to share their experience on collaborating with other people or the committee members of your own meeting. Do you have any?
I think I can go first. Yeah. So thank you for the questions. It's a very important question for our audience to learn about how they're going to collaborate with others. Is just like I said, you need to understand other people first, and then you reveal your intention to be understood. So you are sharing the same vision, but the other party didn't know what is your intention. So you need to seek for the vision first, and then you reveal your intentions. So I'm conducting a program of IMFIT. It's a program that in Pasir Gudang, which is we collaborating with so various companies, school students, and NGOs to conduct a program for the communities. So I'm asking the companies, before I'm asking the companies to collaborate, I did a study, what is their vision, what is their KPI, what they need to achieve. So they must have a department of sustainability, and they want to achieve a KPI of to do CSR. So I'm taking this as an opportunity for me. Okay, you want to do this, and I want to do a program for my universities. So taking these opportunities and know why and how you should collaborate with others, you can tackle them, and then you can do a program. Okay, so that's the first one I would like to say. You need to understand others, and then you reveal what is your intention to be understood. And then you should apply a habit of win-win. Just like I said, they must have a beneficial for this program, and you must have the beneficial of this program. So just like this program, your ITM have a very impactful program for their students, and we have an experience to be the moderator and panelists. So it's a win-win situations. We can put it in our resumes and so on, but it's not the point. We come here to share our knowledge and empower the youth. But that is the side of the benefits. you gain the benefits from this program. So it's a win-win. So both of you got the benefits. So you should seek and apply for the habit of win-win. So that's it for me.
Thank you for those. I love the second point. Apply the habit of win-win. You know what they say, a win is still a win, even though it's little, but if there's thing for you to celebrate, that's a win, I believe. So do we have any additional points from Momo? Do you want to add something on your experience regarding collaborative efforts with other clubs or other people?
It is difficult question for me, but recently I have a group activity that created a new ideas, such as foods or another tools, and first I don't know what to do because what should I do, but then the leader told me that your strength is too good at leading, and that made me recognize what is my strength. So I think when to become a leader, it is important to classify what other person's strength is. That is my experience.
I think when we just opened myself to the new perspective and a new question that we'd like to ask our panelists for today, which is learning other people's strengths. So in this collaborative efforts, I would love to hear your experience on not only the things that you have shared, but the things that you have learned from other people. So I would love for you to pinpoint any experience in your life where you feel like, oh, this is the first time I knew about this. Oh, I see it now. You know, it's like a realization point of your life in terms of you getting new perspective, especially in that collaborative efforts with other clubs and other associations. So any of you guys wants to share about the things that you have learned from other people? Because we want to learn that also. And yeah, maybe you want to start. Okay.
There's a lot of experiences that I think comes with its own lessons, but like Kennedy said, an experience that makes us feel, oh, this is something I just knew or something I just found out. An experience that I can share personally is when I started up my mental health organization. From the surface of the iceberg, you know how the iceberg is small on the surface and it's actually really big down below. We tend to overlook the difficulties that come with our experiences. So for example, when I started off my mental health organization, which is called You Matter, I did not expect the difficulties that would come with it. So for example, we can learn on the book, we can learn anything on books, we can learn anything on articles or any published materials. We can learn, okay, this is how I should handle this issue, this is how I can talk to this person, this is how I can overcome this kind of problem. But when we are actually placed in that situation itself, it brings a different story. So I want to share a personal experience I had when in 2021, if I remember correctly, there was a landslide in a rural area where I came from, and there were a few houses that were affected. A few lives were taken, and we learned on the book. We learned on the book that this usually puts people through the 5 stages of grief, which means they feel shocked or they feel angry, they are in denial, and so on and so forth. But when you actually talk to them, you are taught to, okay, this is how you talk to them. You use empathy, you use this kind of word, you talk to them very softly, and you try not to provoke any hurt or any misunderstanding from them. But when you're in that situation itself, you can try your best to follow the books, but nothing will build you up as best as experience would. So my first experience in talking to natural disaster victims, it did not go as smoothly as planned. There were cases where the victims attacked me physically because they felt hurt. And I'm not saying this in a way to call them to put them in a bad light. Basically, I'm not saying this to put them in a bad light, but what I'm trying to say is this experience shows that we cannot rely completely on what we learn on the books or what we read on the papers, so on and so forth. So, and I think this is essential for every leader, for everyone to know that whatever it's the same thing like this. I can share whatever I want to share in today's webinar. Momomi can share whatever she wants to share. Firdaus can share whatever he wants to share. But you can all take note. You can all absorb this information. It can only supply your knowledge and your preparation. But when you're in the situation itself, it really is up to you and how you build the experiences and the previous struggles you had in life, in whatever you did, to actually improve the way you approach other conflicts or other matters in life. And that's one thing I felt like, okay, so this is how it actually is. I can't really rely on books. I think, I don't know, a lot of people label medical students as people who are by the book, and I kind of agree. So it is something that is really new, and I think I should share for today. Thank you.
That's a very, I would say, life-changing experience for you, I believe. And what I can conclude on that is people grieve differently, and how we approach people is different from individuals to individuals. So in order to study, and not particularly study, in order for you to get more experience, you have to learn about what you have done before, and then you not apply it, but you're looking at that person and see what's the best approach for you to solve that problem. So not everything goes by the book, and if everything goes by the book, I don't think we live in a world we're living in today. And I think emotions and compassions and also empathy it will never go by the book. It will never be able to be written in a very definitive way. So thank you, Anya, for that point. I think we can all learn from our experience, and we should learn more. So that's why you have to go down there and see people and do things in real life. I think that's the most important part, is to see people in real life and experience things physically, So thank you, Anya, for that great sharing. So I would like to open to any of our panelists to share about their experience on learning from others.
I think I can go first. Okay. I like what Anya just said just now, that experience is the best teacher. It's not what you learn from the book in class. So experience is the best teacher. It's very indeed. I can't agree more with that. So the stories from my perceptions, I learned during my high schools. Okay. In that time, I'm very kind of greedy to share my knowledge to others, because if you share your knowledge, others will be more smarter than you, because whenever I'm sharing my knowledge, they automatically macam like they will be smarter than you. But there's one person in my class that she always share the knowledge with others. She always share the knowledge with others, and I can compete her. I never compete her. The highest numbers in my classroom I can get is number 2. She's always been number 1. So I'm starting to learn, observe what she did. So she always share whenever anyone asking for helps in terms of maths, chemistry, and so on, physics. So I learned from that. So whenever you share with others, you are getting more, because it's rewind about what you have studied, what you have learned, and you find a new problems, because you can't find problems that what you have read only. Whenever someone else asking for equations, so you learn something new from that. So I try to implement that, and then I realize, I shouldn't be greedy. This is not my knowledge. This is our God's knowledge, right? So we should share with others. So I implement this during my diploma, and I did my free class for accounts during my diploma. Like I have like 20 students, for students that didn't have a basic knowledge about accounting. So I did a free class for that. And Alhamdulillah, I I'm being awarded as a best students during my diploma in my courses. So then I realized that this is not your knowledge. You should share for others, and that's the first stories that I would share. And the second story is whenever I start this organization of Iskandar Malaysia Youth Sustainability Network, which is I've mentioned before, a region of corridor economic in Johor. So it's integrating 5 universities currently, but we are targeting to expand more universities to getting involved in this youth organizations. So we have UniKL, UiTM Pasir Gudang, IPG Institute Perguruan, Masrah College Islam, and UTM, University Technology. So we're integrating 5 universities into one organizations of youth in combating about environment and sustainability things. So being a president here, I'm very afraid because there's a lot of eyes targeting on me. So they're expecting me to do something. So I told my advisors, ma'am, I need to do something very, very impactful. But my team is not very strong enough because I just started these organizations. Then she told me, Firdaus, resilient is not about A to Z. Resilient is about A to B. You just keep the baby step and then you will achieve and you will reach until the end. So I said, yeah, you got a point because if you can't achieve more, you just do small things. You can just small things to give a benefits to others. So that's what I mean. You don't have to achieve more because you don't have to target more that then you can that beyond your capabilities, because you will overwhelm yourself because you have a true commitment as a student right now. So even though you want to do something good to others, you can, but don't be overwhelmed yourself and just do a small step, and then you will achieve to the end. So that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Firdaus. I think I would really agree on that first one, which is I think we see competition sometimes as something that we must win or we must defeat each other. I think that's not healthy. And from different perspective, you have to have a healthy competition with people. If you can learn from someone, that's going to be better, especially for people who you think could teach you and make you a better person. And also, competition is not always bad. You just have to take it in a healthy take. And you have to share with people about your knowledge. That's a very given, because the knowledge that you've learned today will be passed down to generations of people. So if you do not share this knowledge, who else would be sharing all this knowledge, right? So, and I love the thing that you did over there, not from A to Z, but A to B. But even if you cannot get to B yet, keep on trying until you get to the point. You cannot go crossing over 26 of letter from A to Z. That's like a very huge step that you can take. And of course, from A to B sounds more logical for you people. And any additional points from Momo on your experience with working with people and then you learn something, find something new?
It is the same experience as Firdaus Zaradistan, and I thought the competition is important until I am a high school student, because there is a university exam in high school. So I always thought I have to win as other people. However, after entering university, I learned that the importance of relying on other people, because in university we always during a report or during the exam, the information is very important. So until then, I think competition and win other people is very important, and I always study alone. However, and in university, I always now I rely on people, and in the future, I also think to want to be win another people is also important, but relying on and believing other people is important, I think.
Thank you, Momomi. I think it's not wrong for you wanting to win, but in order for you to win, we always heard this saying before: be the best and beat the rest. When I saw that saying up there over my class, I was like, that's not right. That doesn't sound right. And then someone that I know changed it to something that's more meaningful: be the best and empower the rest. As per our name of our event, Empowering Young Leadership. I think in order for you to be the best, you also at the same time can empower the rest. And
Yeah, we
yeah,
together.
yeah, together we win as one entity. So that's better, right? It's a win for everyone. Like, why are we competing with each other when we can win together? You know. So I think it's a very, I think we learn it the hard way sometimes, that we have to work with other people because we live together. Come on, you know. So thank you all of the panelists for all those points. I think it's a very lovely exchange between the three of you and me myself. So maybe I would like to share a little bit on my experience. Maybe during my high school, I think the only thing that keeps me going and wanting to learn more is because I go to Chinese school. When you go to Chinese school, you know how strong is the competition, and I appreciate those competition. I think because if it weren't for that competition, I wouldn't be learning as much as I want, and I wouldn't be here today with the panelists sharing my inputs. So I think competition really builds you to be better if you take it from a healthy perspective. So yeah, that's my little bit of sharing, but we would love to hear more from our panelists. And I would like to ask this very important questions for myself also, because I really want to know. Maybe if you're not a minority in the community that you are in, I would love to know how you empower those minorities for, you know, for the work that you're doing. If you are working together with these people that you know is always underrepresented, how would you help them? But if you are a minority yourself, I would love to know your experience on how you bring your community voices to the larger majority of other people. But if you're not a minority, I would love to know how you help this minority, you know. So there's two perspectives. If you are a minority, you can share on how you empower yourself with the help of other people, or if you're not a minority, you can share on how you empower those minorities who need amplification of their voices. So any of you guys wants to start? Maybe we circle back to Anya. Yeah.
I think this is a very good question from coming from Kennedy. Thank you so much for asking this. As a minority and also as someone who has been, you know, outside of the minority group, I think what I used to expect from my leader and also what I try to practice in my current team is that first, as I mentioned earlier on, is to foster inclusivity. And to put it in a practical sense, this means we talk to these minorities one-on-one. We want to know what their expectations are, what their hopes are, what their visions are. Because like Kennedy said, usually they are not highlighted enough and we tend to undermine their presence. And this is something we want to avoid. So we give them a voice by listening to them and actually being a proper representation of what they want and their expectations in the team. As a leader, it is very important that we are representing not only the majority, but also what the minority wants, because we want to listen to everyone. Not a single person should be discriminated or prejudiced against. Second one is we should also encourage feedback from these minority groups. It means we listen to their ideas, we listen to what their comments are, be it about other team members or be it about the leading committee, I think it's important that we highlight what they wish to change, or if in any case if they feel they are left out, how we can include them better. Another one is in some cases we should also try our best to shape everyone to be aligned in one way. Not saying we should change the minority to become like the majority, and it's also the same. It's not that we have to change the majority to follow the minority, but it's to find a equal footing between both groups, and in this way we can empower everyone so that they can feel welcome to share their ideas. I'll share a personal experience. For example, I also used to study in a Chinese school, and as someone who did not speak Chinese fluently back then, and as someone who doesn't really look Chinese, if I could say that, it was kind of hard for people to take me seriously, especially when I joined in club societies or club groups, and it was hard for me to express what I wanted to say, because one is the language barrier, and second is because I feel it's not just for a certain race. I feel like for every single human being we have inner prejudice, we have inner discrimination that we have, but it's how we work over it. So I'm really grateful to my leader back then, because she was very understanding of my situation, and she represented my voice when I could not speak up to my other team members, and I gave an idea, and then she would say something like, "Oh, one of our team members actually suggested this, whatever, so and so forth," without mentioning my name initially. And once they actually, okay, this is a good idea, why don't we implement it? And they were like, okay, you guys should talk about this together, because this was an idea not by me, said the teacher, but by Anya. So I think this is something we need to practice, representing the voice of the minority, and also encouraging them to share more in a safe space. It means we don't scare them and push them into the center immediately, but we build them, step by step, getting their trust and also their comfort. And as another experience on the other side, I used to work with a majority of Bornean people. This is what, like, as the current Cultural and International Relations Bureau right now in my university in Russia, we have majority Bornean members. It means people who are coming from Sabah and Sarawak, and our peninsular Malaysian born friends usually could not relate when we would talk about talking about cultural experiences or ideas we want to share to implement in events. So what I did was, okay, instead of only focusing on one group, why don't we have, by turn, instead of just having it as a Bornean discussion, why don't we open it up to Malaysia? Malaysia is multicultural. We have so many races, we have so many ethnicities, and why are we limiting it to only what the majority is, So I feel like this kind of mindset really helps push aside the differences and make everyone feel welcomed. And it's personally still something I'm trying to work on even more better. And I also would love to hear the answers from Firdaus and Momomi about this question, because I also want to learn about how you guys overcome this issue in your team. Thank you.
Thank you, Anya. That feels so close to home. That's exactly how it went for my high school. But I grew over it, and what I know about now, it's a lesson learned. And everything that I've gone through before during my high school, even though it was pretty rough, but at the same time, it teaches you that life is not always easy. And yeah, thank you, Anya. That feels very close to home. It hits me somehow. And let's move on to any of the panelists that wants to continue Anya additional points, if you have any.
Yeah, sure. How to support the minority? Okay, I would say that you can give a support by advising is a normal thing. You can open the opportunities for them, because they have the intention to do something good, but they didn't have a platform. So just like Iskandar Malaysia Youth Sustainability Network, which is my organization, IMOSN. Students have the intention to do something good in environment and sustainability, but they don't have a platform. So by creating these organizations, we can raise up our voice. We can give our opinion on how we should do a program for sustainability and environment. So that's the first one. You should create a platform for students to voice up. So that's the first one. And then the second one, you should assist them on how to do a task on these particular things, how you should do it well. Because yes, it is very commonly people will say that you are white paper, you can do anything by your own. But if you leave them alone, the art is not going to be very beautiful. It's going to be in Malay we call it conteng. It's not perfect. So you need to assist them on how to do the flow of it. So you assist them whenever they back down, you are behind them. So you assist them on how to do the protocol, on how to do to connect with others. You're giving the guide. The first one I just said, you give the platform for Rise Up. The second one is you give the guide, and then you empower them by giving a support, moral support. I would say that my roommate is a digital comic creator, but he just drawing by as his hobby. But I told him, you have a potential to do this. Okay, I'm creating a channel for him to sell his logos, his design. So he's doing that. We are creating a channel for them. So he able to embrace his skills. He able to point out what he want. So that's what I mean. We assist them creating a channel and give a moral support. That's it.
Thank you, Firdaus. We should open opportunities, especially for these underrepresented people. I think it's very important for us to amplify their voices when they cannot do themselves. So at times when people feel underrepresented, I think it's such a brave move for us to represent them in a way that we are not only representing them, but we lift them together with us and voice our opinions together. I think that's the key element that we have to have in today's society and in leadership as well, because as we can see from as we know from our discussion from today, our leadership is the thing that defines how university works for generations afterwards. So I think it's very, very genuine coming from Firdaus that we have to learn from other people. No, we have to give opportunities to other people. So thank you, Firdaus. And moving on to Momomi, I believe you have something to add.
Okay. In majority position, I think it is important to listen minority and build a connection with minority, I think. Recently, I became friend with exchange student from China, and I went dinner yesterday, and he said, I am the first friend, Japanese friend, but he lived in Japan for 2 years. But I'm a first friend. So I was very surprised that I am a first friend. And he said, other Japanese people didn't talk to me. So I'm very sad. I very feel lonely. So I think minority is very feel lonely and doesn't tend to speak to majority. So I think majority should be and have the opportunity to talk with them. And however, in the position of minority, I think we should not change what we want and our values. And in minority, I think we tend to conform other people and same clothes and same hobbies and same hairstyle, but we don't have to conform other people. And I think it is important to respect our own values.
Thank you, Momi. I think for at this point in history, I think we still have to highlight that we have to empower our minorities. But I hope that someday in the future, we will not talk about this anymore. We do not talk about differentiating between minorities and majority, as we came to a point where we understand that human being per se is not different at all with everybody. We are the same set of human with same set of brains, same set of organs. I think it's illogical for us to differentiate ourselves because of our races, because of our religions. I think at some point we have to come together so that it will be a better place for everyone to voice out the opinions. All right. So it's lovely to hear from all the three panelists, but I would love, in terms of your experience, I would love to know more. So I would like to ask a few more questions. Is that okay with you guys? Okay. So as a student leader, I would love to know your experience. I believe we want to learn from your experience about helping specific individuals. I want to know if you have any encounter in your life where you help these specific individuals in developing their leadership values, or in any way, in any personality that helps them to become a better person. So if you ever indirectly teach someone, or someone go back to you and give the feedbacks, oh, thank you for teaching me this, thank you for guiding me, I would love to know, what did you guide to them? Like, we also are curious about this stuff. So if you have any experience on teaching people, please teach us too. So who wants to go first? Anya, okay.
Allow me to dive into a more personal topic under this question. Kennedy asked about how we help, a specific individual, right? So I'm gonna be very frank and talk about how I helped a very specific individual that I probably shouldn't be talking about, but I will talk about, which is a previous special someone I had in my life. So back in high school, I would say I had a special connection with this person, and I'm not going to go into the details, but I'll just say that he was a special someone, which he no longer is, but it's fine. So how I helped him was actually initially he was a very timid person. He was someone who was very reserved, and it's not wrong to be someone who's shy and quiet, but when you look at people, you can see that they have a potential, with the way they talk, or with the way they do their work. You can automatically tell that they have that potential. So my genuine intention was initially to help him grow in the field of leadership, and also join as many events as he could. So what I did was I asked him, okay, why don't you join me into organizing this event? Or if you're not interested in like joining hands-on, practically talking to people, you can just follow me, listen to the sessions, give some ideas, so on and so forth. And time went by, and before I knew it, he was already my colleague. It means when I got into my representative council as vice president, he was holding one of the high committee bureaus. So for me, I felt like I'm not claiming it as my doing, but I felt that when we reach out personally to that person, when we reach out to people, specific individuals, and focus on them as a singular person, we can actually bring them out of their shell even more, and highlight the potentials that they have. And just like this person that I experienced this with, it really made me happy, because I also learned a lot from him as well. New ideas, new perspectives, and new everything. So it goes without saying, things ended, but it's fine. And I'm actually happy because for me, it was a meaningful it was a meaningful interaction. It means he gave me something to learn about, and I also gave him something to learn about. It was overall a valuable experience, and yeah, I think that's a personal story I would love to share. I think maybe it's a bit bizarre, but I think it's nonetheless it's still valuable for people to know that you can actually reach out to specific individuals, and this actually gives them the highlight of their growth and helping them develop themselves in terms of leadership, or maybe sometimes in terms of academics, or work ethics and skills. So yeah, that's my experience.
Thank you, Anna, for sharing very personal information. But I believe that there's still thing that we can learn from this. And what I want to highlight from Anya is that even though you made peace with him already, we still have things to remember. And I am glad that you're remembering all of those good memories and good experience that you have with that person. So thank you, Anya. Okay, before we move on to that, let's continue with our panels for today. In terms of if you ever help any specific individuals in your life that you think you want to share with the audience.
Okay, I can go for that. Okay, how are we going to help specific individuals? My personal experiences, I had this one friend during my diploma. He's a very well student, smart, but somehow he had a conflict with his team. So in the last semester, he came to me, Firdaus, can I be in your team for assignments? Because my team, I had a conflict with my team. My team kicked me. So I want to be your team. So I said, yeah, it's okay. You can be in my team. And it's not your fault that your team is kick you out, because we as an individual, it's about normal things that you face a conflicts, but we all born with the good intentions. We all born with the good intentions, but somehow the way we interrupt, the way we giving out our intentions has been get wrong from others' perceptions. So it creates the conflict. So I told him, it's okay, you can be in my team. So I groomed him well in terms of how you do assignments, how you do presentations, how you be in students leaders. So he went to degree with me, same degree in UniKL. So I told him, you have this potential to be this. So I'm giving him moral support and be a good listener. So be a good listener is very important. You can't be just listen to him. So there's if I'm not mistaken, there are 5 poor listening skills based on the book that I've read recently. So the first one is like spacing out. Whenever someone share with you, you just spacing out. You didn't hear anything what she said. When someone is talking to us, but we ignore them because our mind is wandering off in another galaxy, So they have something very important to say, but we catch up with our own thoughts. So that is not a good thing to do. And then the second one is pretend to listen. Pretend to listen is you like you nodding, you still aren't paying much attention to other person, but at least you pretend by we are making insightful comment and head gestures like, yeah, that sounds great, but you are not fully giving attention to him. So this is not a very good action to do. So whenever you want to groom an individual specifically, you need to understand him very well. So not just pretend to listen and spacing out, and selective listening. Selective listening is mean like whenever, for example, my friend said, I want to do a program for students, for this program for students, and then you said, oh, students, they are very not supportive and so on. You are very selective. You are not into the topic. You're not into the topic. You just select the words and you describe what you want to say. So that's the selective listenings. And then word listening and self-centered listenings. I can't remember well about that, but there are 5 poor listening styles that you should avoid. So Just like I said, if you want to be supportive to individual, you need to have a very good listening skills, and then be supportive. So that's it for me.
Thank you, Firdaus. I think uh, more of as a friend, I think we should help the people that we worked with, as opposed to just being a leader. I think it's for me in my club, I would approach them as a friend. I think that would be more closer, in terms of if you want to share something that sometimes would offend them. So that's, I think it's very lovely if you take it from a friendship level of sharing and also in exchange. So thank you, Firdaus, for that. Maybe anything from Momi?
Okay. Is it correct to answer the interesting in specific individuals now?
Yeah.
Oh, correct? Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. I have interesting friends who make it a habit to praise other people 10 times a day. And I feel embarrassed at first because I don't have a culture of praise other people. But once I get used to it, I feel like playing others. So this is something I can't seem to do. So I would like to do that from now on. Thank you.
Thank you, Momi. I think that's a very great, how to say, a great knowledge for a lot of us, because me also very shy to praise people, even let alone praise 10 times more than they should receive. I think it's they should receive that, right? So if the world is better with praising people, why not? So I want to ask one more question that induce your critical thinking. The question goes about: have you encountered any problems in fostering inclusivity? In also, if you have any problem on or resistance in attempting to build bridges between people, maybe it came from within or from outside. If you have any problems on that, how do you go around it? How do you solve it? How do you solve this problem that you are having with the people that you collaborated with? So maybe we should hear from Anya. Do you have any points to share? Yeah.
An experience I had, an example of, for example, a resistance when I tried to implement, for example, I foster inclusivity, is I think this may be a sensitive topic to some, but in Russia, in my university, there are students of different nationalities. There are Malaysians, there are Botswanians, there are also, of course, there are Russian people, there are Brazilians, so on and so forth. And when we actually gather together to give out ideas or share opinions, some people may have internal prejudices, or they have deep-rooted racism that were passed down from their family members, or it could be fostered through their environment. So I had an experience where one time when we were in a conference of different nationalities, we were sharing ideas, and I remember there was one turn for the Indian students to speak up. And it was at that moment that when they shared their idea and they wanna chip in or contribute to the event, everyone in the hall could hear distasteful comments coming from another nationality, and they spoke it in their own language, but you could tell that it was meant to be hurtful. It was meant to be downplaying the other person's ideas and the other person's way of thinking, and it was really difficult to be in that room at the time. So what happened was, because I was organizing the conference at the time, I stepped up and stopped their session for a while, and we gave a short pause to basically cover up for the hiccup or the conflict in the conference itself, and we gave the full platform to the Indian who was trying to speak. And on this, at the same time, we had different teams in the room. So what we did was we actually talked to the person who gave the unwelcome comments, and we handled it in a very professional way. It means we did not shame them publicly. We did not announce whatever they did was wrong, but we handled it behind closed doors. And of course, at the same time, in order to not, because it's not only about teaching the person who did something wrong, but it's also teaching others so they also do not repeat the same thing. So what we did was we implemented a future practice, which is if there were any cases, we would implement this rule. If there were any cases of racism or discrimination in any written form or verbal form whatsoever, we would not welcome that at all, and they are not welcome to join in our platforms, because if you don't have anything nice to say, then don't say it. That was a simple rule that we held, because everyone deserves to be treated with respect, regardless of their nationality or their religion or their culture, and so on and so forth. And it goes the same way for a religion as well. In the Malaysian community here, there were cases where some of my Malaysian peers, my juniors, they were struggling with some foreign neighbors that they lived with. And what happened was they were basically pressured into for example, I'll be very frank. For example, they were pressured into consuming alcohol, or they were belittled. They were saying, why is this something that should be limited? It's something normal for us. Why shouldn't it be normal for you? So a struggle that I had was, not only did I have to deal with the neighbor who was causing the trouble, but there was also internal conflict within a team that were saying, some of them were saying, okay, but is the neighbor saying something wrong? It's not like they were harassing them or anything. They were just asking. And another side were saying, of course it's wrong, because you don't just go up and invade someone's personal space and personal information that way. You not ask something so provocative. So that was something that I struggled with, and it was really interesting, because I don't think a lot of people would experience this kind of this level of misunderstanding, because when you move abroad, it really opens up doors to anything, be it the best or the worst. So this was an experience I also experienced with. And what we did was we had a round table, and what we did was we did not conform anyone to a specific singular idea, but we all came to the conclusion that, what's best is we do it for everyone. We make sure it's respectful for everyone. If you have something you're curious about, you asked it nicely, you asked it personally, you do not invade someone's personal space. And if you are easily offended by a comment, then that is something that you have to change as well, how you strategize your answer, so that you do not provoke any aggression, or you do not provoke any arguments with the other person. So this is two experiences that I want to share with everyone. Because if you are planning to move abroad and you're gonna meet people from different nationalities, it is something we all have to remember. Not everyone grew up the same way we were. Not everyone had the same ideas. Not everyone has the same beliefs, and it's all about tolerating each other. So that's an experience I've experienced, and I kind of want to share.
Thank you. Thank you, Anil, for that sharing. I think what we can conclude is that we do not tolerate racism in any shape, way, or form. So thank you for fighting for all of the voices that are unheard and underrepresented. I think at some point this has to stop, and sometimes you feel so disturbed when this happens in real life, even though it does not involve you, but somehow it involves you in a way that you have to voice out for them. You have to defend them, because these people, if there's no one helping them, some of the times they will feel small, they will feel, they are an outcast. So making someone feel like an outcast is the worst thing ever you can do to a person. So makes everybody feel included, okay? So moving on to any of the panels that want to add on this issue, which is, have you ever encountered any problems or specifically in fostering inclusivity with your collaborators? Do you have any new take?
I think I can go. Okay. Thank you for pointing these questions. I can't remember well the conflict about conducting a program, but the people itself make it difficult. Just like I want to do a program in universities, and my administration or management always against us to do in this event in this particular venue. That's just like main hall, because our main hall is new and they are protecting them like a new things and want to protect them in the glass so students can't touch it. So we always asking them that you create the facilities and then you don't want the students to use it. So what's the reason you're creating these facilities? So that's the always pop up conflict that I have to face as a student representative in UniKL. So how I solve these solutions is we need to talk it, like we need to explain more and more. So we have a communicate effectively. So we clarify why we need to have these facilities, how it impactful to the students, and we point out our objective of this program, why we should have these facilities. So by appointing the clear visions and missions, objective, I believe the conflict won't be there. So I would like to say that the conflict is always happen because you are misunderstood or you didn't receive the message well. So you need to clarify all the things in a proper way. So everyone should born in good intention, just like I said, everyone born in good intentions. So you should review what is your intentions and seek for their intention too. So you need to understand others, and you need to then you seek for your intention to be understood. So I think the conflict that I have always faces is about fighting about the venue in my college with the administrations. But the way I solve it is clarify why I need it and giving the objective of the impactful of the programs. So that's it.
So what I can say about this is, in order to work with other people, in order to collaborate, clarification is very important, even from both sides. So in order to work, you have to clarify points that might be misunderstood or somehow is misunderstood already. So clarification is important. So thank you, Firdaus, for that point. So Momi, if you have anything to add to the conversation.
Yes. So I think this issue is not caused by different nationality, and it's my experience. I live in share house with another university student when I first university grade, and there are another idea who have another ideas and who gets up another time and eat different food in breakfast and different use of toilet. So I have many stress, but I think it is difficult to suddenly change our habits or the habit because you get used to be. So it is hard to adapt others. But what is more difficult is that we do not know others people's way of thinking, and when they encountered a new way of thinking. So what is most important first is to understand other people, to not do supplies when we encounter it. So in my experience, we held a monthly meeting once a month, and that problem solves. So I think understanding other habit is the most important thing.
Thank you, Mommy. That's very rare for us to hear housemates having meeting with each other to understand each other's issues. So I'm probably gonna do that with my housemate, but for now, I don't think I have a problem with any of them. So thank God. Thank you, Mommy, for that additional points. So let's move on to a very cute question I want to ask everybody, all of the panelists over here. We are almost at the end of our discussion. So I would love for you to share on what takes are very interesting for you today. What points coming from other panelists that you think are interesting today that you've learned so far, and you want to share why is it interesting to you and why do you like it best? Then share it to us on what points from any other panelists that you think if you like it. Any volunteers, or is it gonna be Anya again? Okay, go on, Anya.
Okay. I like that we have this session that we share, our favorite takes from the session. Personally, I liked a lot from what Firdaus shared before, or to be more precise, what his teacher shared or mentor. I can't recall the exact role, but she said, resilience isn't from A to Z, it's from A to B. For me, it really struck me as someone who's always rushing to get things done. It really opens up, the idea that, hey, you're right. Well, I can take things step by step. Even a small step is still a step forward. So, what am I rushing for? And I enjoyed Momomi sharing that she included a lot of cultures from Japan and the daily life in Japan that she included in her examples. For me, it really opened up my eyes to how the Japanese culture actually is in terms of their in terms of their leadership. And for me, it was really touching when she shared that she was the first Japanese friend of her Chinese friend. So for me, these experiences are really valuable, and I'm pretty sure that these will stick with me because they also built me as a person, as a leader as well.
Thank you, Anya. You're basically representing me on those sticks because I love the points that Firdaus and Momi made just now. A to B, that sounds like very simple, but at the end, it's so true. And any other panelists that want to share your favorite takes from other panelists?
I can go. Okay. So the favorite point from Enya, I like to say, experience is the best teacher. So we can't agree more on that, and it's very true. We can advise and we can talk about this to our students and audience, but they need to do it by itself, by hook or by crook. They need to experience it so they can learn it. You can get this kind of advice, but you should learn it by yourself on how to fly. Just like a bird, how their mothers or how their mothers teach their little birds, baby birds, on how to fly is they put on their experience. They just leave them, then the baby birds try to fly by itself. Even though if you fall to the ground, but you experience it and you learn it. So, and teachers the best. Experience is the best teachers. And for Momomi, I would like to say that your point about trust along the process is so true. That we gain trust is along the process. It gives me a point that my new organization about Youth Sustainability Network about Iskandar Malaysia, that I have lacks of my teammate didn't give a support. Some of my teammates. So along the process, you will gain it. So you need to just do a program together. You just can't expect more from them. You just knew them, and then you expect that they could give all out. You can't achieve that. You need to do a more program together. So along doing a program, you will gain a trust. So just like us, whenever we met our new person in our life, new team members in assignments, you just need to get attached with them, not 24/7s, but always frequently getting, how are you, how's your day, sharing about not only about work but our life. So along with that, you will gain a trust. So that's from me. That's so true. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Firdaus. I think I can say that myself because a lot of my collaborators are often my friends. So before they became my friends, they are my collaborators. So we do not burn the bridge. We continue our connection and our interaction. So I think not only in terms of leadership, you can connect with other people, but you can make friends with other people. I think that will open up to new, conversation, new perspective, other than the clubs itself, other than the work itself. I think that's kind of sweet for you to find new friendship in your collaboration, so that maybe sometimes in the future you want to collaborate again, you have that the comfortable feeling with working with them. So yeah, thank you, Firdaus. So Momomi, can you share us the favorite takes that you heard from Anya and Firdaus?
I'm interested in Anya's experience, particularly because in Japan there are no ethnic differences. So I'm very surprised to hear the Anya's experience. And I answer today, understanding another ideas is important. And today I can understand Anya's experience and ethnic programs. So this today is a very valuable opportunity for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Momi. Thank you, everyone. We're not over yet, but I just want to re-highlight it back on the points that you have did from before, because along with you guys, I have highlighted my favorite takes from you, especially the one that Anya has talked about, which is about inclusivity. I think it felt so close to home and how it impacts me and my life. I think we have to talk more about this until we have this issue figured out. And regarding racism, regarding feeling underrepresented, I think that's the thing that we have to talk until we find a solution, a lifelong solution. And from Firdaus, of course, the one that I'm going to repeat, Anya, because it's stuck in my head, saying A to B instead of A to Z is something that's new to me. I didn't ever heard that before. So thank you to you and your mentor. That's so this passing down of knowledge is very important. That's why we have to share with our friends and our colleagues, and of course through our panelists. We are learning new things. And from Momomi, again, the one has been highlighted by Firdaus, trust. As we know, trust is a process. During the process, it's the process of regaining trust. So in doing that management or in handling something, that's when we get the trust of other people. And that's how I think I'm working with my club members. I think even though they are new, we have to trust them, because that's why we recruit them, So we have to move forward with trust. And if the trust is breached, maybe we can sit down together and have a talk. If Momomi can have a discussion with her roommates regarding the issues in her house, why can't we have a conversation with our club members, with our collaborators in our to come to terms of our differences and find a middle ground, so that we could come up with a very inclusive decision that includes everyone. So we're now almost at the end of our discussion, and it's not going to be perfect if we're not asking for all of the panelists to conclude their sharing for today. So I would love to hear from everyone on their conclusion. of today's very fruitful sharing. And I cannot lie, I really love today's sharing. I feel how to say, I feel so proud and grateful that I said yes to be a moderator to this event, because I have learned a lot from all the three panelists today. And yeah, let's hear their conclusion on the theme that we have today, which is bridging connections for future togetherness. So let's start with Anya for the conclusion.
To conclude such a compact session into a few words is going to be really hard, because there were so many things that I learned, and I'm pretty sure it's the same for Firdaus and Momi as well. What I just want to conclude is that in order to lead others, you have to lead yourself first. That's the first step. You cannot lead others if you don't have a vision for yourself, if you do not have a set path for yourself. And I'm going to keep the conclusion short, but that's all I want to take from all the experience that we shared. I believe it's all about us building ourselves as leaders, and then we can lead other people to go along with us. That's all.
Thank you, Anya. Can we move on to Firdaus, your conclusion?
All right. Okay. Sure. Thanks. I can conclude that we have all the skill sets and expertise in these particular things. All students have their potentials, and all students have their skills. We all born with unique creatures, right? So, last thing I should say is you should sharpen your saw. Yeah, it's mean like you should get more into a program, get more into a talk, get more involved in these particular things, learn something new, sharpen your saw, because we live in a competitive environments. So if you didn't want to sharpen your saw, sharpen your skills, you will be left behind. So we can give an advice, we can give a motivational talk. You can watch a motivational talk on YouTube, TikToks, and so on, social media. But the must do thing for yourself is you need to sharpen your saw by your own, by doing a program, involved in program, so we will learn by the experience. So that's it. And I will say leaders should be a bridges, not a wall. Yeah.
Thank you, Firdaus. Exactly. It should be the bridges that connects people, not a wall that separates people. So, Momi, you may conclude the discussion for today.
Okay, to conclude, I'm very happy to know that what is trust. And before the discussion, I think hopefully that trust is made by such a tangible thing such as performance or results. But through this discussion, I know that trust is made through the spending time together. So in the future, this is a common thing. Maybe we think in the companies, we have to focus on performance and results and not talk together another person. But what is important to make a trust is to talk another people and understanding, and that is lead to make trust. So from now on, I want to focus on not to competition with other people and make a performance or results, not to do that and talk together and make a trust person to person. Thank you.
Thank you, Momi. I think it's very given for us that trust is important in terms of leadership, and also amongst your friends and the people that you love and love you. It's important for us to keep and gain the trust so that we have mutual respect for each other. So it's a very fruitful sharing from everybody. We have answered question all across the issue that we've talked about today, which is bridging the connections and working with our collaborators. I think for myself, I can say that there are a lot of hurdles in terms of collaborating with especially the higher ups, the other clubs. But from this sharing, I think we know that we can learn the solution to this problem. So thank you for sharing. I once again would like to invite all the panelists to, if you have any organization, if you have anything you want to promote or any event that you want to promote, maybe you can say it to the audience so that they will know what you are doing currently and what's up with you next. What's the upcoming event? What's the organization that you're handling? So if you want to share something before we end our conversation, our discussion for today. Yeah, sure, Anya.
I don't want to share much, but I just want to share a very close to my heart organization that I mentioned earlier on, which is called You Matter. It is a Sabah-based organization that's focusing on mental health awareness and destigmatization. The reason why I started this organization is because I believe that this is a matter that is not talked about enough. I am planning to overcome a very vast topic, but with the right team and the right people by my side, I know that we can achieve those goals. And I just want everyone to remember that no matter what, if you're a leader or if you're not a leader, you're a student or you're working, your mental health comes first. It means it comes before your grades, it comes before your career, it comes before anything, your validation, your parents' expectations, your everything. Nothing can beat the priority of your mental health, and that is what You Matter is trying to show to other people. So it would be a huge honor to see people not promoting, not supporting my organization, but supporting the movement that my organization is fighting for. So thank you so much for giving us the space to talk about this, by the way.
Thank you, Anna. Of course, I want to know what you are doing. We are kind of invested in the organization that you are in. So everyone can check out Anna's association that she herself founded, You Matter, right? So Firdaus?
All right. So before we wrap up these sessions, I would like to promote my organizations of Iskandar Malaysia Youth Sustainability Network. So our main focus is about sustainabilities and environments. We go to the schools, teach school students on how you should implement sustainabilities program, and we teach students on how to do a sustainabilities program. So our nearest program is on December 17 December, is a drive-through program. We're going to do it in Seri Alam Pasir Gudang. It's a drive-through is concept as we recycles use oil, recycles paper, recycles books and fabrics. So we are living in this climate change world. So this organization is fighting for environment and sustainabilities. So it's not only focusing on that. You can develop your students, or you can develop yourself in these organizations too. So you are willing to join these organizations as a youth because we are under IRDA. IRDA is a corridor economic in Malaysia. We under Kementerian Ekonomi, we have 5 corridors in Malaysia. IRDA is one of it in Johor, so basics in Johor. So whoever live in Johor, I would like to invite you to be one of the members in our organizations, because we do a lot of programs in conference, program into the schools, program in universities, and we want to have more members and expertise from you guys. And thank you once again for inviting me and appointing me to be as a panelist. I'm truly appreciated so much. Thank you. And thank you for Anya for your sharing. Thank you, Momomi, for your sharing. And thank you, Kennedy, for your sharing too. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Firdaus. I would like to say thank you to you too. Of course, we have Momomi for if you have anything that you want to share, the work, the event, or the organization that you are in, you want to promote, just anything.
Sorry, I cannot come up with organization right
That's
away.
okay.
So yes, I want another time to think about it. Sorry.
Yeah. Thank you, Wolby. That's okay.
Kennedy,
Yeah.
I would like to add more. On behalf of my SRC team, we're going to conduct a convention Undi 18 in December. So we will invite you guys in December. It's a program with KPT, Kementerian Pendidikan Tinggi Malaysia, for empower youth to join in voting for our Undi 18. So it's a program located at Pasir Gudang. So we're going to invite you, and whoever around here in Pasir Gudang, you can join us.
Thank you for those. Remember to check that out, you guys. We have a lot of viewers from YouTube, and I hope you guys check that out. So the reason why I'm asking this question is to open up to connections, of course, with the theme that we have today, working together, bridging connection for future togetherness. So if there's any member of the audience are curious about your club, maybe they can approach you and work together, maybe. So that's the reason why I asked this question. So thank you for sharing your association, but let's not end that yet, because myself, I want to promote my association. So I'm from UiTM Global Ambassador. So I believe there's a lot of audience from UiTM. So basically, UiTM Global Ambassador is a student body that facilitates international students, and we also often at the same time organize international activities that includes any international students or any local students. So you can check us out at our Instagram, uglam.dia, uglam.dia for our future events. So if you have any collaboration idea that you want to pitch to us, of course, we are more than happy to receive and to discuss it more. So I think that's the end of our discussion for today. So I believe I have to give the floor back to the MC, right? Before we start with our Q&A session. Okay. Thank you. Back to you, MC.
Iman, we can't hear you.
And on building good leadership in organization. But before that, let us go to the Q&A session. From the chat box, I pass to the moderator to handle this session.
So we have some questions, and we are given 5 minutes to answer all of that. So I'm more than happy to receive all of the feedbacks from all our panelists. So the question goes by, hi, my question is that what can leaders do to understand and address the challenges that come with diverse cultures, helping everyone feel like they belong in the same community? I think we highlighted this in our conversation, but I believe that we can reinstate more on this question. So I've opened this to our panelists to answer. If you want to answer, just turn on your mic and answer.
Okay, the question is, what can leaders do understand and address the challenge that come with diverse culture? Okay, help everyone feels like they're belonging in the same community. Just like I mentioned before, we all born with good intentions. We want to do something good to others. So, but we are unique creatures, and we are unique from different perspective and different organizations. We have expertise in this. Kennedy have expertise in this. Anya has expertise in this. Momimo has expertise in this. So if we integrate, we can be more impactful to deliver to the students and participants. So whenever you collaborate with others, you can give an impactful program to the participants. So it's very important for you. It's not a difference. It's not a problem if you are different and unique from others. It's a things that you should celebrate, because different unique unique character, or I can say unique organizations can be very useful in the programs. So that's like I would say. Thank you.
Thank you, Firdaus. Any other take from our panelists regarding the questions? No, Momomi? Anya?
I think helping everyone feel like they belong in the same community. When we solve that problem, it is important to share roles, person to person. When I divided what is your roles, and it is easier to work what should I do, and feel like I'm very valuable in a group. So I think sharing the role is very important.
Thank you, Momomi. I think throughout our discussion earlier, we have touched about this topic quite in a long conversations. So I believe that our audience is well versed in this already in terms of how do we want to include other people. So can we move on to the next question? So there's one question from Del from our YouTube, which is, she's asking, hi, I'm Adila from Malaysia. I have a question. As a leader with a lot of experience, how do you handle conflict on a team? How do you guys handle conflict on your team? Or I would love to know that.
May I answer first?
Sure.
Okay, I'll keep my answers very short because I would love to hear as many questions as we can cover. To handle conflict on a team is to first have a leader mindset, which is not to see conflict as a challenge alone, but to see conflict as an opportunity to build the team into a better understanding for better results. So that's my answer. It's once you master that mindset, the steps that come along with it, how you handle it, how you treat people, how you talk to others, it all follows suit. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Anya. Any additional remarks from our panelists?
Yeah, I would like to add more on these questions. Whenever you face a conflict, you should be a tolerant person. Sometimes it's not all the time that you are right. Sometimes even you are right, you should be agreed with others' perceptions. We just celebrate with other perceptions, put it on the tables, and the way a leader should face a conflict is you should be a good listener. So there's based on a book that I have read, a good listener should have a good words when they are delivering things, a tone, feelings. Whenever you talk about it, you should play with your tone, because tone is very impactful to others. We are talking about heart to heart, because we want to do something, right? And then body language is another things lah. But tone is very important for me because whenever you want to solve things, you should play with your tones, talk, slow talk. That's it.
Thank you, Firdaus. We have to still talk with our committee members. Sure. Any additional points from Momobi?
And when we conflict on a team, we might think which conform other ideas is lose and another is win, like a competition. But we have to find a way to cooperation, not to win or lose, I think.
Thank you, Momomi. Can we move on to the next question? So this question is in Russian. So I believe this question is specifically are asking Anya. So Anya, maybe you could translate for us what that means.
Yeah. Sure. Okay. The question goes, как можно помочь молодым лидерам развиваться и влиять на свое окружение? So this question is basically asking, how do we help young leaders to develop and change, or rather influence their environment? So I don't think I should answer in Russian. I think I should answer in English for everyone to understand. For me, we can help young leaders to develop and also influence their environment through multiple ways, which is, for example, through education, through training, and also giving them the opportunity in leadership roles. Only in this way, they can actually help influence their environment to trigger those around them to be better, to stimulate a growth or a development in personality. And other than that, we also have to encourage networking, like what we did earlier on. We encourage networking from not only mine, not only Momomi's, but also Firdaus and also Kennedy's networks. We share this, and this actually helps our young leaders to grow their environment, to reach out to a better audience. And last but not least, I think it's also important that we offer mentorship, which is we provide young leaders with mentors to actually guide them into the right steps. I'm going to repeat the same example again. For example, Firdaus' mentor, she gave a very insightful quote that stuck to him, and now it's stuck to Kennedy and also myself. And with this mentorship, we can actually help young leaders to develop and change their environment. So that is all for this question. Thank you for asking.
Thank you. For that translation, is there any additional points that the other panelists want to make? If you remember the translation.
The question is about how young leaders is going to impact the environment, isn't it?
How we can help young leaders to impact their environment. Yeah.
How young leaders is going to help to impact young environments. I can be agree more about the mentors, because my point is about you should assist young leaders. Whenever you have at this stage, you have so much networks, you can connect them with the new newbie in this industry, on this field. They have the skills, they have the ideas, but they don't have the connections. So the way you help them is by bridging. So that's why we have the stations, bridging the connections, and assist them whenever they need. So that's it.
Thank you for those. Is there any addition from Omomi? Okay, let's move on to the next question so that we can answer a lot of questions as much as we can. This question is in Japanese, so I believe it was directed towards Omomi. So would you read it and translate it for us?
Leadership. How do young leader check that another member trusts young leader? How do young leader feel confidence? I think, and I think, as I said, to be a leader, and trust means not to a performance or result, and means a relationship between people. So I think leader can feel confidence by not to make a result or performance, but trust by another member. So that's become confidence, I think. That's all.
Thank you for the question. Any final additional points from the panelists, or are we done? No more additional points.
I would like to add more. Yeah, about Momi, it's not what you think. It's very true. As a leaders, if you've got the support from your members, you'll be more confident on doing things. Even though everyone is against you, but your team supports you, you have a voice back on your back, you'll be more confident. So how a leader should be more confident, you should strengthen your team. And how you're going to strengthen your team, you should gain their trust. And how they gain your trust is along the process. So that's I would like to wrap up in these sessions.
Thank you, Firdaus. Even though we want to continue, but the time is not on our side. So we have to finish our discussion for today. And thank you for watching the discussion to all the viewers in the YouTube. And also thank you to our panelists for sharing. That's a cute cat, but let me wrap this up. So thank you to our panelists. We have Anya, we have Firdaus, we have Momomi. Thank you for coming. I think it's such an honor to be sitting at the same level as you guys during this discussion. I feel like I'm in sort of, like a straight A student class. So thank you for making me feel that way. And also, I would love to share my gratitude for inviting me as the moderator for today. I want to say thank you to the organizer, MPP UiTM Terengganu, for giving me this chance. And also, I think all the panelists would say the same thing about the organizer. So thank you so much. I think that's the end for today's discussion. And I hope to see you guys soon somewhere outside of the discussion. Thank you. I'm going to give the floor back to the MC.
Actually, before we give to the MC, can we take a photo sessions together?
Oh, sure.
Sure. Anya, you should put your cat in the camera too.
Yes, I know. She wants to be in the picture. She knew the picture was coming.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. I'm going to give back the floor to the MC. Thank you.
Thank you to the moderators and panelists. To the participant, please scan the QR code for the certificate.